Welcome back. Today I'm going to show you the exact step-by-step process to creating the first draft of a professional book manuscript in under 24 hours using ChatGPT. Now, this is going to work for lower to medium content books like prompt journals or workbooks, as well as full-length nonfiction books. I'm also going to share the major caveats you need to understand about AI-assisted writing so that you don't wind up with a poor quality book that won't sell, or even worse, if you're a personal brand, a damaged reputation. I'm Rachel Harrison-Sun, and I help entrepreneurs boost their authority, audience, and income with simple, easy to create books like journals, planners, and more. And I have helped over 5,000 people start generating passive income publishing low and medium content books. If that sounds interesting to you, please download my free guide, 3 Steps to Publishing Your First Low Content Book in Less Than a Day. I have left a link to that down in the description below. So let's have a quick 30-second conversation about warnings, because if you plan on publishing your ChatGPT created book on Amazon, you are going to have to let them know. So the first thing you need to do is determine if the content you have generated is AI assisted or AI generated. So KDP outlines AI generated content as text, images, or translations created by an AI-based tool. If you use an AI-based tool to create the actual content, whether text, images, or translations, it's considered AI generated, even if you applied substantial edits afterward. So if your content is AI generated, you will have to check a box when you're publishing that book to let KDP and Amazon know. Now, there is also AI assisted content. So this is if you created the content yourself and used AI-based tools to edit, refine, error check, or otherwise improve that content, whether text or images, then it's considered AI assisted, not AI generated. Or if you used an AI-based tool just to simply brainstorm and generate ideas, but ultimately created the text or images yourself, this is also considered AI assisted and not AI generated. And in that case, you are not required to inform Amazon KDP that you have used any of those tools. So as always, following KDP's rules to a T is super important to keep the health of your Amazon KDP account in check.
So right from the outset, I just want to say ChatGPT really is best used as a tool to help you brainstorm ideas, organize and create structure out of those ideas, and help you produce output at speed. By its nature, ChatGPT really doesn't have any original ideas. It's simply trained on all of the ideas and information that it has been fed by other human beings. So if you do want to create a truly original work, you are going to have to input those original ideas that you've had into ChatGPT. I also want to point out that ChatGPT works best to help you write nonfiction works. At least not yet. ChatGPT simply isn't capable of replicating what a real human being can create in terms of a really wonderful work of fiction. Now, if you plan on publishing a book that you have created using ChatGPT on Amazon KDP, make sure you stick around to the end because I'm going to go over some of the warnings that Amazon has instated for publishing AI-assisted content on its platform. So firstly, you want to pick a broad topic for your book, and you can actually get ChatGPT to help you create some ideas. So I kind of just pulled a random topic out of thin air and I asked it, what are some potential pocket-sized book ideas around productivity for entrepreneurs? So I do think ChatGPT is best suited for creating lower or more medium content books. You can certainly use it to help you create longer books, but I think the shorter the book, the better. So within seconds, it spat out 15 different options for me. Now there are 2 or 3 options here that I think could be really good ideas. But I think I'm going to go with this number 11, Morning Momentum, a 21-day productivity challenge. And it's even given me a little blurb about what the book could be about. So, pocket challenge book with small actionable steps to build morning routines that drive results. Now, before moving on, it's a really good idea to define the book's purpose and its audience. So who exactly you're going to be creating this book for is going to determine what you include in the book. And this is something that you'll feed into ChatGPT so that it knows the audience that it's creating for. So when thinking about the goal of the book, is it for education? Is it for thought leadership? Is it for marketing? Is it just a piece of personal expression? Keep that in mind because that's going to help determine some of the prompts that you give ChatGPT as you're going along here. So for this hypothetical book, Morning Momentum, a 21-day productivity challenge, I am going to say that this book is primarily created for educational purposes, and I'm going to gear it toward professional entrepreneurial women. Now, I'm fairly happy with this book title, but if I want to get another dozen or so potential book titles, I can go ahead and ask ChatGPT to help me come up with some book titles. So what are some alternative book titles for the pocket-sized book, Morning Momentum, a 21-day productivity challenge, and then I've included the little blurb, and then I've also included that it's for professional entrepreneurial women. So you can see in about 10 seconds, it gave me an additional 15 titles. Now, just for the sake of this exercise, I am going to stick with the original title and we'll move on from here. So before you move on, when you come out with your book title, it is a good idea just to do a quick Google search and make sure there's nothing either with the exact same title or something that's super similar and could be confused with your book. Next, you'll want to create the outline. Now, if you are an author or an entrepreneur or a business owner and you have got your own intellectual property, your own frameworks, your own content that you would like to include in this book, now's the time to input it into ChatGPT. And the prompt would just be something like, here's the title of my book, here's who it's for, here is some of the content, create an outline for this book. And whether you're inputting your own content or not, the next prompt you're going to want to use is help me create a chapter outline for this book. So in roughly 15 seconds, ChatGPT has just given me a 21 chapter outline for this book. So I would have a read through here and just try and determine which of these chapters were relevant. Maybe there were certain chapters that I don't want to include. Maybe I don't want a specific chapter for each day of the challenge. Go through and just refine the outline as much as you want so that it's an outline that really solidly reflects the type of book that you'd like to create. So with this being a pocket guide, I don't really want it to have 20 chapters. I'm going to see if I can get it to condense it down to 7 chapters. And then because this is a 21-day challenge, I'm going to ask it to attach days out of the 21 days to each of these chapters. Okay, so now I'm ready to actually flesh out these chapters and create the content. So we're going to just write one chapter at a time, and we'll start at the beginning with the introduction. So just wrote this entire introduction in roughly 30 seconds, and now I'm going to have a quick read just to see if it's any good. Okay, so this is pretty good. Now, it is a little bit on the generic side. I would definitely want to go through and add my own human voice here, and you're going to want to do that anyways, no matter what it is that you're writing. This is just our first draft, and this whole video is all about creating the first draft of a book. So let's continue on, and we'll keep going chapter by chapter until we've got the entire first draft written out. So I've exited out of that first draft. It's now here. I'm not going to lose it. And that introduction, the introduction draft is now complete. So now we're going to move on to chapter 1. All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to complete all of the rest of these chapters. So the time on my computer right now is 12:35 p.m. So we'll take a note of that once I've gone through all of the 7 chapters. Okay, so the time is now 12:53 and ChatGPT has just finished writing the conclusion to my 7-chapter book. So basically this entire book was written in, well, we'd already done the first couple of chapters, but essentially under half an hour. Now there's still a lot of work that needs to be done, but this is the first draft. From here, you're gonna wanna go in and you're gonna really wanna go through each chapter with a fine-tooth comb, making sure that the flow is right, making sure that it's readable, and of course you want to add your own voice. If you've got any personal experiences or stories that go along with any of the things that have been written, use those. This is what's going to make your book unique to you. And it's going to add the originality that it's going to be missing if you don't add those things. I also really highly recommend a human editor. Yes, you can ask ChatGPT to go in and edit anything, but there is something to be said about a pair of human eyeballs on any written work that you create. You'll also want to do a plagiarism check. So there are free plagiarism checkers like Grammarly, where you can just upload a file and ask it to check for plagiarism. Make sure you do that. From there are some other things that you can ask ChatGPT to help you with to make the book even better. You can ask ChatGPT to help you come up with some enhancements to your book. You can ask it, are there any particular visuals, illustrations, charts, graphics that will help support some of the content that it's written. And then once you've got a finished print-ready file, you can ask it to do some other stuff too, like help you come up with cover ideas, help you to write your book description, help write your author bio or your back cover copy, suggest author or brand names if you want to publish under a pen name. It can help you come up with ideas for lead magnets so that you can start building an email list, some marketing ideas. So by this point, you can clearly see how much of a huge time saver ChatGPT is when it comes to writing your book. But I do want to stress, this book is going to be so much better if you add your own unique intellectual property, frameworks, content that you have created to make this thing really original. Yes, this tool is capable of writing an entire book from start to finish, just like you saw here, but I do think that its strongest utility is to help you brainstorm, come up with ideas, organize your own original thoughts. Either way, this is an amazing tool and I hope you have a lot of fun with it.
So now you've got your complete book. Watch this video next if you want to learn how to turn just one book into a 6-figure online business. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe and I will see you next time.